Hey, what's up? This is your man, Mr. E, coming to you live and direct from my kitchen sink. Yeah, the exciting life that I lead. Millions of people around the world wish they could be like me, shooting a video with their cell phone in their robe and slippers. Hey, anyways, I want to do a real quick and dirty cell phone video on a topic that seems some people are looking for an answer to and either can't find it or are getting misinformation. As you can see, I've got a pack of Stanley Ribbit Frogs here, and these are the baby ribbits. This is the baby bass color. It's actually a very nice product. A lot of people use these for topwater frog fishing for largemouth bass, or even smallies when the topwater's on. As you can see, these have a nice green sparkly color, kind of a whitish silver pearl translucent legs, and then when you flip them over, they've got like that shiny belly, which kind of resembles a frog a little bit. So, one of the questions that I've seen, heard, people have been asking is whether or not do the Stanley Ribbit Frogs float? And the answer is potato. No, actually the answer is yes and no. They will float, but under a real fishing application they will not, and I'll demonstrate here. Here's my lovely kitchen sink. And I'll go ahead and I'll take one of these frogs. I'm just going to set him on top of the water. And voila! You got a floating frog. Yeah, there you go. You have a floating frog. So they do float. But if you know anything about science, and you paid attention in science class, I don't know if you can notice it in the video, but you can see where there's some surface tension around the frog. So the only thing keeping him floating right now is surface tension. Even when wet, if you set him in the water gently, just right, he will float. So if you're thinking, yeah, I got a solid body frog I can throw out there, it'll float, I can fish it, that's not the case with the Stanleys. Now, I've heard that the EStrong hardleg frog from Z-Man will float regardless, and it'll actually float up to a 4 or 5/0 EWG hook while you're fishing. One of the drawbacks, though, that I've heard about both the Stanleys and the EStrong hardleg frogs is because the plastic material has a bit of grip to it. If you throw it in really heavy weeded areas, or what we call the salad, you're going to have some problems because these legs are going to stick to the vegetation or any sticks and things like that. But check this out. So, you're thinking that this frog floats, but it really doesn't, because if I tap him, you can see it immediately sinks to the bottom of the sink. And this is probably about 4 inches deep of water right now, give or take. And if you take him, and I'm just holding him just slightly above, maybe 2-3 inches above the top of the water, if I just drop him in, see how he sinks? So if you've got a hook in this frog and you're casting, he's going to immediately fall. Even when he's wet, if you just set him on there real gently, he's going to float because of surface tension. But as you can see, I poke it, and it sinks automatically to the bottom. And then again, as I just hold it up and just drop it, and this is a lot softer than a long distance cast. See how it just goes right to the bottom? It doesn't sink like a rock right away, but still, it does not float. So that answers the question. Do they float? No, they do not. Not in a real world fishing application. Do I still like this product? Yes, I do. I'm still going to fish these this year on the topwater bite. It would be nice to be able to throw something out there in semi-weedy conditions and let it sink in a few inches, reel it in and bring it to the top of the water, then have it fall again 4 or 5 inches, and then do a stop, pause, retrieve like that. But if you're looking for a frog that you can throw out in the water and actually let it sit for 10, 20, 30 seconds and do like a twitch, pop, retrieve, you know, like a hula popper or a jitterbug or anything like that, you want to get one of the different brands of hollow body frogs out there, and there's like 4 or 5 real good ones out there, and I may do a review on those later. But as far as the Stanleys go, in the real world, they do not float. So that answers that question for all those who may have been wondering some of the mysteries of the universe. Okay, well anyways, hey, this is Mr. E, also known as EStrong. I've got about 130 reviews out on Bass Pro website, so check me out there. I've reviewed a lot of products. I've got a lot of reviews coming up on my fishing channel here. I'm going to have some videos on technique and some videos on some fishing trips that I take. So subscribe to my channel, keep checking back, and we'll see you sooner or later out on the water. Be well and fish well. Everybody take care.